And that will bring up the top of the order and Jack Suwinski. So runner on first. Pitch outside, 1-0 on Suwinski. So Fedde is through 2 1/3 with 2 walks, no hits allowed. And the Pirates have 1 base runner right now on a walk. Suwinski went. That's a strike. 1-1. Went around on a changeup there. Fedde has thrown 40 pitches in this game, and over on the other side, Mitch Keller is through 3 innings against the Cardinals with 2 hits allowed, no walks, 1 strikeout. Ooh, good pickoff attempts from Fedde, but he was unable to get Pham, who walked the last plate appearance. Cardinals lineup today, you can see it. Nootbaar's in right, Donovan's playing left, Burleson at first base, Contreras at DH, Arenado at third, Pages at catcher, Victor Scott in center, Sajaci at second, and Wynn at short. The 1-1 to Suwinski is outside, 2-1. So the unusual part about this lineup is mostly Sajaci playing second, and Donovan in left with Nootbaar in right. So that means Walker's getting the day off. Suwinski goes around on a cutter above the zone, and it is 2-2. The pitch from Fedde. Just inside, and the count is now full. Luckily for the Cardinals, there's only 1 out here, so doesn't mean the runner can start moving before the pitch. But Pham might take this opportunity to steal anyway. And that's why the Cardinals check on him at first base. Another pickoff move by Fedde. Pham gets back once again. And the pitch. Grounded to short. Flips it over to Wynn. And that's a double play. It was actually Arenado fielding that ball because the Cardinals had a shift on. And Wynn is able to turn it with his rifle of an arm. And we are through 3 with no hits allowed in Pittsburgh. Last inning for the Cardinals. It went Wynn, Nootbaar, Contreras, and they went down in order. So it's going to be Donovan, Arenado, and Burleson for the Cardinals next inning. Donovan is 1 for 1 today, and his batting average sits all the way up at .409 on the year, which is very, very impressive for this point in the season. A 1.063 OPS. And the other hit for the Cardinals today was Victor Scott. So those two, Donovan and Scott, both have hits. Just singles, but Scott was able to steal second base earlier today. Cardinals unable to bring that run around, and that is how we sit at 0-0 heading to the 4th against Mitch Keller and the Pirates. So we can look at Mitch Keller's stats, both this season and last. Let's figure that out. So last season, Mitch Keller was their ace. At least he started the season as their ace. Skeens obviously took over the role once he came up. But Keller was a league average pitcher directly. He had a 100 ERA plus with a 4.08 FIP, 84 earned runs in 178 innings for a 4.25 ERA. 11 and 12 on the year, so just very average. 1.303 whip. And this season he's doing a little bit worse. His ERA is up at 5. We could take a look at that. Yeah, negative 0.2 WAR. He's brought it down during this game, but coming into the game it was 7.45, 9 2/3 for how many earned runs? 8 earned runs, so not great, but he's bringing it down against the Cardinals today so far. Let's see how we do against him here. It's Donovan versus Keller. The 0-1 pitch is grounded over to first base, and Donovan is retired. So that'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Keller is a right-handed pitcher, so that's why Cardinals have opted to go with Burleson over Baker. And why Jordan Walker's getting the day off, I guess. First pitch missed way low and away against Arenado with a slider. Second pitch was a slider in there for a strike. And the third pitch was grounded too short. So Arenado is retired. Trying to catch myself up. First pitch with 2 outs and nobody on to Burleson. Popped into center field. Easy play for Sawinski. And the Cardinals go down in order again in the 4th. Great pitching by Mitch Keller. Almost none of that time was spent actually live, but it's because of such a fast inning. So Fedde will come back out to pitch the 4th. He's thrown 44 pitches, just 23 strikes out of those 44. And that's why he has 2 walks, but still no hits allowed. For the Pirates, they're actually starting McCutchen in right field today, with Reynolds at DH. Joey Bart behind the plate. Rodriguez, Frazier, Pham, and Su Chang at shortstop for the Pirates. So that's the new guy we haven't seen yet this series, is Chang. And McCutchen playing the outfield we also hadn't seen so far. So we could look at what Chang has done so far. I wonder if that has been... okay, well. Where is he? He should exist on Baseball Reference. Unless this is his first career game. Might be his first career game. Here he is. Yeah, this, I guess, is his first career game on the Pirates, so that's interesting. Sung-Chae Chang. Definitely not pronouncing that right, but I'm doing my best here. He had 17 plate appearances in the minors so far this year. He's 1 for 14. That's an .071 average, but he did make the majors, so probably had a lot to do with his AAA average last season. He was 6 for 13. So maybe he'll be able to replicate some of that. As Reynolds, he is up to bat. 2-1 on Reynolds. Fedde just missed. The pitch, swing and a miss on the sweeper, was able to move right to the left of the barrel there of Reynolds. The 2-2 pitch from Fedde to Reynolds. Is finally going to be delivered. Here it comes. Missed low with a changeup. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul. We'll do it again. Reynolds is 10 for 49 on the season. Here's the 3-2. Fouled away. We'll do it again. The count is still full on Reynolds. He's hitting .204 with 2 home runs and a .638 OPS so far. Playing DH today. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Got him right in there with a sinker, and they call it a ball. So the umpire just an absolutely dreadful call on strike 3. And I guess that's a walk. So inexcusable there. That was strike 3 by any zone. But here comes Andrew McCutchen with a runner on and nobody out. First pitch to him. He is a strike. Up and in. He's hitting .320, 8 for 25 on the season with 1 home run and a .913 OPS. Second pitch from Fedde is low with a sweeper, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to McCutchen. He's in there for a strike, right in the same spot as strike 3 of last at bat, which was not called. So the ump is inconsistent in this one, but it's 1-2 on the veteran Andrew McCutchen. The 1-2 pitch is grounded to short. Cardinals will make up for it with a double play. So there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. Fedde did not deserve the walk he gave up, and he wipes it right off with a ground ball double play. And here comes Joey Bart with nobody on and 2 outs in the 4th. First pitch to Bart is a strike. Cutter right at the bottom of the zone. Bart is hitting .257 on the season with 1 home run. The 0-1 is hit the other way into right field. Easy play for Nootbaar. And Fedde is through 4 with no hits allowed. And that will bring up Pedro Pajes, Victor Scott, and Thomas Sajaci in the top of the 5th. So we're not gonna talk too much about Fedde if he lasts a little bit longer. I would expect that this might be a combined effort if we start having a discussion like that, but it is the 4th inning. I will be back in 30 seconds. All right. Let's take a look here. Switch scenes. So we can look more at what Sajaci did last year in the minor league before making it to the big squad. Obviously, he has the home run this season, and that's why he looks so good. 4 for 8. 875 slug with a 264 OPS plus, but that's in 8 at-bats. If we look at the minor league stats in AAA, he started off with a 615 in 2023, was able to bring it up to a 752 in 2024, and then in 875 in Memphis this season. So he's been getting better and better as a hitter every single year, and that's why he's with the big squad now. And here comes Pedro Pajes to lead off the top of the fifth against Mitch Keller. Keller's thrown 4 innings in just 39 pitches. He has a 5.27 ERA on the season. First pitch to Pajes is low and away with a sinker, 1-0. Cardinals combined catcher totals 16 for 47 for a 340 batting average, 6 home runs, and a 1.210 OPS. So, obviously excellent from the catchers. Here's Pajes. Ground ball, foul, 1-1. Pajes himself is hitting .292 with an 8.34 OPS and 1 home run. So even though those are really good numbers, it's actually probably the worst of the 3 catchers for the Cardinals. Because Pozo was able to hit a homer in his only appearance. And Herrera's obviously been absolutely raking. Here is the 1-1 pitch from Keller. Inside with a sweeper, 2-1. Two-one pitches pulled foul, 2-2. Pajes is 0 for 1 today, along with a lot of the lineup. Here is the 2-2. A little low with the sinker. Count runs full. So just as I was talking about Keller being efficient with his pitches, he reaches a full count against Pajes. And the pitch, slider away, got Pajes to chase, and that's out number 1 in the top of the 5th. That will bring up Victor Scott. Scott is 1 for 1 today. First pitch to him is swung right through. Curved ball, 0-1. Scott hitting .316 on the season with a home run. That is an .886 OPS, so very, very solid. Also has a stolen base today. Here's the 0-1 from Keller. Ground ball foul, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Victor Scott, or from Keller to Victor Scott. Got him with a curveball. He chased one low and away on an 0-2 pitch, and that'll bring up Thomas Saggese, who is 4 for 9 on the season now because he started this one 0 for 1. Came into this game hitting 4 for 8, so a base hit would pull him back up to 500 batting average, but in just 10 at-bats. The first pitch to him. Missed low with the slider. 1-0. JC has a home run this season already. It was in Fenway. He blasted it out of the stadium. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a slider. Below the zone. 1-1. He struck out back in the second in his only at-bat of the game. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball up and in, fouled away. 1-2. Timeout called. So JC digs back in. Cardinals trying to get back to 500. in a 0-0 ball game in Pittsburgh. The 1-2 pitch fouled away. Still 1-2 on Sajacy. Sajacy's one of those guys that's improved at every level, and he's hit pretty well at the major league level so far, so you wonder if he'll keep that roster spot. The 1-2. Ground ball, third base. Hayes gets him at first, and the Cardinals go down in order once again. So Keller has really settled in. 9 batters retired in a row. Is it even more than that? No. I believe it's just 9. Well, it must be more than that, right? Yeah, it was just 9 in a row. Started with a win. So a great job by, well, I guess 10 because he had to get that last out of the second inning. So great job by Keller there. And now it will be Fedde back on the mound to face Ke'Bryan Hayes, Endy Rodriguez, and Adam Frazier. Just a reminder, the Pirates chart has all zeros so far in this game. So we will see what Fedde can do about that. Hayes, Rodriguez, and Frazier are all 0 for 1 in this one. And they are all hitting below 240 on the season. Hayes with the highest average of the three with a 233 and 1 homer for a 670 OPS. So Fedde will continue his bid here in the bottom of the 5th. Through his first 4 innings, he's pulled the ZRA on the season down to a 4.85. So big opportunity to continue that for Fedde. As the game is back. Sinker in there for strike 1, and the second pitch is a sweeper, low and away for a ball. Fedde throwing his 61st pitch to Ke'Bryan Hayes, who swung on that sweeper and missed. And the count is 1-2 as Hayes calls a timeout. Digs back in. The 1-2 pitch. A little high with the cutter, 2-2. Fedde shakes him off and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Missed a little outside with the sinker, and the count is full on Hayes. Fedde winds up and delivers. And it's fouled off of a check swing, and we will do it again. The 3-2 pitch is a sweeper that missed low and away, and the defensive third baseman draws a walk. And that will bring up Endy Rodriguez for the Pirates. Roberto Clemente had 3,000 hits in his career. And there was a little controversy in PNC Park when his logo was removed for an ad, as Rodriguez fouls one away, 0-1. They obviously solved that issue and returned the logo to right field, but caused a little bit of controversy online, especially from the Clemente family, who brought that to the attention of the organization. Here is the 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. Apparently they did that without warning the family whatsoever, so who knows what type of miscommunication happened there, but they returned it to right field. And it's 0-2 on Rodriguez here. So here's the pitch. Fouled back once again. Still 0-2. You never like to walk the first hitter of an inning. Gives the other team a chance to manufacture a run. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Andy Rodriguez. Nope. Timeout by the umpire. Pitch clock violation. And it is now 1-2. So Fedde gets a ball charged to him without throwing a pitch. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Rodriguez. Fly ball to center field. Donovan will range over and make the catch from the left field side. And there's 1 on and 1 out in the 5th. That'll bring up Adam Frazier for the Pirates. Frazier's hitting 176 on the season. 0 for 1 today. First pitch to Frazier. Instead, he tries a pickoff move to first. Hayes read that perfectly and got back. Swing and a miss on the changeup. And it's 0-1 on Frazier. Thought maybe the runner was going to be going there because the catcher popped straight up, but there was no attempt to steal by Hayes. So he still remains on first base, and it's 0-1 on Frazier. The pitch. Up and away. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is hit in the air to center field. Donovan is able to range over once again and make a catch. Those continue to look like they're going to center. It must have a little bit of a wind out to left field today, because these launch angles are drifting over to the left field side. So even though it looks like they're headed straight off the bat, Donovan is able to make the play. So 2 outs. Runner on first for Tommy Pham, and he misses the cutter. 0-1. Pham has a walk in this one, and Fedde has allowed 4 walks so far. But those are the only base runners. Here is the 0-1 pitch in the 5th. With 2 outs. Ground ball to third. Arenado scoops it. And Pham is retired. And Fedde is through 5. Zeros on the scoreboard for Pittsburgh. And we go to the top of the 6th. It'll be Mason Wynn, Lars Nootbaar, and Wilson Contreras against Mitch Keller, who has pitched a very efficient game so far. 53 pitches through 5. He continues on this pace. He could go all 9. Mason Wynn is due up first. He is 0 for 1 today. His average on the year is .238. .629 OPS and a homer. His middle name is Blaze, huh? His full name is Mason Blaze Wynn. They call him Energizer Bunny, or Blaze as nicknames. We could just do that right now. Like Burleson has some crazy nicknames too, right? Where's Biscuit? Is Biscuit on here? They don't have the nicknames listed. That's unfortunate. I mean, Newt Bar. They've got to have Newt on here, right? Nope. No nicknames listed. It's really interesting. Like, Newt is like one of the most common nicknames. I mean, I know it's just a shorter version of his name, but oh well. We'll take a look at some more of those between innings next time. At the next break, Mason Wynn takes a slider for strike one. And the pitch from Keller is a sweeper low and away, 1-1 on Wynn. So it's the top of the sixth, 0-0 ball game. Cardinals have 2 hits. Neither have come around to score. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back. 1-2, that one was a fastball. Timeout called by Mason Wynn. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Keller. Ground ball to the third base side. Barehanded play by Hayes, and he gets Wynn at first base. An incredible play by Ke'Bryan Hayes with the bare hand. And Wynn goes down. It was a very high chopper. Very, very tough play to make against a fast runner like Mason Wynn. But he made that play and got him by a half a step. 1 out here in the top of the sixth, and that'll bring up Lars Nootbaar. First pitch to him is outside, 1-0. Nootbaar's cooled off a little bit in recent games, but he's still hitting .289 with 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and an .841 OPS on the season. Second pitch, hanging curveball right in the middle of the plate, 1-1. So Nootbaar's seen one now. The 1-1. Swung right over a changeup. That was a very deceptive pitch. 1-2 now. 1-2. Nootbaar still has been an absolutely excellent leadoff hitter this season. Got the day off yesterday. The 1-2 is outside with a curveball. 2-2. If you want a guy who can reach base, Nootbaar is your guy. And the guy to get hits, Donovan has been the guy so far this year. Batting .400. He's up in 2 hitters if one of these 2 can reach. The 2-2 pitch is fouled away. Still 2-2 on Nootbaar. So the Cardinals trying to get a base runner after Keller has retired the last 10 hitters. Now 11. The 2-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Keller's standing still, finally delivers. Ground ball to the right-hand side. Second baseman makes the play, and there are 2 away now. Play was made by Adam Frazier. And that will bring up Wilson Contreras, who is 4 for 45 with no home runs so far this year. Still looking for his first. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss on a slider below the zone. 0-1. He has a fly out and a pop out today.
Just a 297 OPS to start the year with an 089 batting average. The 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2 now. He showed some signs of life about a week ago, but slumped once again recently. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Contreras. Got him with a sweeper at the top of the zone. Still struggles to track that pitch, and Keller has now retired. How many is that? The last 14 Cardinals? Was it 13? Probably 13. 13 Cardinals in a row. So, incredible job by Mitch Keller. And this game is still scoreless heading to the bottom of the 6th. They'll bring out Fedde, who has thrown 74 pitches in this one. And has 4 walks allowed, and that is all. He hasn't struck out a single hitter. And yet, the only base runners have been the walks. It will be Sung-Jae Chang for the Pirates. He is playing in his first career Major League game. He is 0 for 1 today. So that's always exciting. Let's take a look at some more Cardinals nicknames while we're at it. See if Fedde has any nicknames. Fedde, that's a pretty good one. So Fedde will be out to pitch some more for the Cardinals very soon. Who else is in the lineup? Let's go get Walker, even though he's taking the day off. I guess that's not specific enough. No nicknames for Jordan Walker. As we are back. Fedde misses outside 1-0. Second pitch to Chang is a strike. Beautiful sinker on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. First game of the career of Chang. Ground ball to the left-hand side, off of Arenado's glove, and he will reach in his first career game. I wonder if they'll call that a hit. They probably will. But that's a tough one for Arenado, as he could have made that play. It did hit his glove. I'm waiting on the ruling on that. They're giving him an error. So, still no hits allowed by Fedde, but Chang is able to reach, and a very rare error on Nolan Arenado. Here is the pitch to Sawinski. So Chang reaches in his first career Major League game. Gets the experience of leading off first right now. Talking to Burleson. Here's the 1-0. Up and away, 2-0 now. Two-0 pitch to Sawinski is outside. So Fedde has fallen behind 3-0 now. He's yet to allow a hit, although that one was a hard hit ball in a bad direction to Chang, and that's why there's already a base runner. The 3-0 pitch from Fedde. Able to find the zone with that one. Sinker right down the middle. 3-1. Fedde's ERA sits at 4.50 on the season. And the 3-1 pitch is fouled back. Count is now full on Sawinski. Sawinski hitting 125 on the season with a 417 OPS. Fedde has thrown 47 strikes on 82 pitches, so not super high strike rate, but he's getting it done the way he can here, and it is full on Sawinski. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. The throw is late, so Chang steals his first career base. He gets that in his books as a player, and he is now in scoring position. Cardinals might want to take a quick look at that, but it does look like he's safe. And Chang is awaiting on second. Oh, the Cardinals do challenge, so maybe his first stolen base was premature. It was a good throw by Pedro Pajes. Let's see, did Mason Wynn get the tag down? It looks like he may be out. I'm going to need a different angle to know whether the spike was on the bag there. Oh, nope, he is out. So, a great job by Pedro Pajes to gun down Chang, and he does not have his first career stolen base or his first career hit, despite being very, very close to both. So a great throw from Pedro Pajes, and there are 2 outs, nobody on now in the bottom of the 6th. So a great job by the defense to make up for the Arenado error, and the pitch to Reynolds is a little outside, 1-0. So by means of that error, instead of a hit, the Cardinals have not allowed any hits here in the bottom of the 6th. But Reynolds is a big threat to change that. He's 10 for 49 on the year. Had a walk in the 4th, 652 OPS with 2 home runs this season. The 2-0 pitch to him. Swing and a miss with a sweeper, 2-1. So strike him out, throw him out, double play leads to 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th of a scoreless ball game, potentially through 6 innings. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Fedde to Brian Reynolds. Swing and a miss, sinker at the top of the zone, 2-2. This pitch will be pitch 88 for Fedde, so there's absolutely no way he's going to go all 9 in this one. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, sinker at the top of the zone, and Fedde's out of it after 88 pitches. Still no score on the board for Pittsburgh, and it's 0-0 headed to the 7th. Might have been his first strikeout. Nope, his second. He got 2 in this inning. Oh yeah, the strike him out, throw him out, double play, of course. So 2 strikeouts in the 6th after none over the first 5 innings for Fedde. And let's see if Donovan, Arenado, any of these guys starting for the Cardinals have any nicknames. No nicknames listed for Donovan. A lot of Michael middle names. I believe Arenado has like Nato on here. Sand Blaster. I don't know where that's coming from at all. It's like Sharknado. Okay, let's see. Who else is starting today? We'll check Contreras, Pajes, Victor Scott, Sajasi. No nicknames for Sajasi. Scott. No nicknames listed for Scott. Contreras. Willie the Beast, or Venezuela. So just his country. That's interesting. Pajas. We got to check Pajas. Maybe his nickname is like Book, you know? No nicknames listed for him. So another Venezuelan. And let's get back to the game. Oh and 1 from Keller to Donovan. A little low, 1-1. I hate that there's like a delay every time we go to commercial. I can't tell when the game comes back because it automatically delays it when I'm not watching. Here's the 1-1. Curveball low and in, 2-1 now. Donovan hitting 400 on the season. He's 1 for 2 today. 2 home runs already this year. The 2-1 pitch. Up and away, fouled back, 2-2. Keller has retired a lot of hitters in a row. But Donovan is a really tough out. A guy who gets on base a lot. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and in. Count runs full on Donovan. I believe he's retired 13 hitters in a row. With Donovan at the plate now. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Pulled high and deep to right field. It is caught on a running play by Andrew McCutchen. What a play by McCutchen. And robbed Donovan of extra bases there in the gap. So McCutchen still doing it at whatever age he has reached at this point. He was the league MVP in the National League 12 years ago and still making great plays in right field. Here comes Nolan Arenado. As Keller has retired 14 batters in a row, Arenado swings over a slider for strike 1. A surprise pitcher's duel here in Pittsburgh between Mitch Keller and Eric Fedde. The 0-1 pitch, low and away, 1-1. Arenado is 13 for 40 for a .325 average this season. 0 for 2 today, but he has a .901 OPS on the year. Just 1 home run, few doubles. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul, 1-2. One out, 1-2 count. The pitch to Arenado. Fastball grounded to third base. Hayes makes the play and gets Arenado at first by a step. Another good play by Hayes. That one was chopped over to him, but a little too hard hit for Arenado to really have a chance. 2 outs now, and that'll bring up Alec Burleson. So Keller has now thrown 5 straight innings without giving up a base runner. Here comes Burleson. Popped up foul, out of play, 0-1. Burleson is 0 for 2 today with a .263 average on the year. No home runs quite yet, although he did have 21 last season. 4 RBIs, a .616 OPS. The 0-1 pitch from Keller to Burleson. Change up a little low, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Alec is ripped down the right field line for a hit. It's going to get all the way to the wall, and Burleson's going to have extra bases. He turns that into a really easy stand-up double, and Cardinals have a base runner. He waits on second base. That's their 3rd hit of the ball game, and breaks up the 5 innings in a row that were perfect by Mitch Keller. And that will bring up Pedro Pajes with a runner in scoring position. So Keller's streak is over. And here's the pitch to Pajes. A little low with a sinker. 1-0 on Pedro Pajes. He's hitting .280 on the season. 0 for 2 today. Big chance to drive in a run here. The 1-0 pitch to Pedro Pajes. Ground ball foul, 1-1. Cardinals lead the league in runs per game in the 7th inning or later by 0.12 runs per game. Second place would be the Phillies. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Keller to Pedro Pajes. Low and away with the slider, 2-1. Pajes does have a strikeout in this one. He is 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position this season, including his 3-run home run. Has 7 RBIs on the year and 3 extra base hits. The 2-1 pitch to Pajes. Up in the zone, tried to go the other way, but was just a little late on that changeup. 2-2. Burleson stands on second. 2 outs here in the 7th, as we have a timeout called by Pajes to readjust his gloves, and he digs back in. The 2-2 pitch to Pajes. Swing and a miss on the sweeper, low and away, and Pajes goes down swinging. So Keller's able to get out of it. Does break his 5 perfect inning streak there, but he got through the inning. So the Cardinals still have 0 through 7 innings. And it'll be potentially Fedde or a member of the bullpen. We will have to see. He has thrown 88 pitches on the game. But every base runner has been a walk or an error so far in this one for the Pirates. Oh, this is the free game of the day. So you can watch along with me with a MLB.com account. So, Pitcher's Duel, you can watch along with me. I wonder if that means I'm allowed to stream it. Probably not. Here comes Phil Maton. So it will be a reliever. Coming in for Eric Fedde, who was able to throw 6 no-hit innings to start this game. Let's see if the bullpen can keep it up. It'll be Andrew McCutchen, Joey Bart, and Key Brian Hayes here in the 7th. There's Fedde's numbers for the game, if you can see them. I hope you can. Nope. 88 pitches is all you can see, but it was 6 innings, 0 hits, 4 walks, and a few strikeouts. So here comes Phil Maton. He's thrown 5 1/3 innings this year with a 0.56 whip, 11.8 strikeouts per 9, and he starts McCutchen out with a sweeper for a strike. His ERA sits at 0. He has not allowed an earned run so far this year. Second pitch to McCutchen is a strike. 0-2 now. A beautiful sinker on the outside part of the zone. McCutchen hitting .308 this season. Very good hitting. The 0-2 pitch from Maton got him to chop right over a curveball, and that's strikeout number 1 for Maton. And that will bring up Joey Bart. So a very slow swing from McCutcheon there. He was probably just trying to foul that ball off. But it drove itself right into the ground, and McCutcheon was unable to get down to reach it. Here comes Bart. He is 0 for 2 today. The pitch is outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Maton to Bart is up and in, and it hits him. So Bart's going to reach base on a hit by pitch against Maton, and that'll bring up Ke'Bryan Hayes. So 1 on, 1 out here in the 7th. Hayes has a chance to make a difference for the Pirates here. As he steps in to face Phil Maton, who just stepped off. It's technically his first disengagement there, with Bart on first. Hayes is hitting .233 this season. The first pitch to him. A little outside with a sweeper. 1-0. Game still tied at 0 in the bottom of the 7th. If you make an MLB.com account, you can watch right along because it's a free game today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch to Hayes is a strike. Up and away, 2-1. So Maton finds the zone there. It's 2-1 on Ke'Bryan Hayes. Here's the pitch. That's a cutter. Caught the inside part of the plate, 2-2. No doubt about that pitch. Put it right where he needed it. I think the cutter is an excellent pitch to get a ground ball, but he could also be going for the strikeout. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Hayes. Another curveball there. Swung on and missed by Hayes, and there are 2 away in the 7th. Maton has an excellent pitch mix with both the cutter and the curveball. Out of the hand, that almost looks like it's going to be the cutter up and in. And then it bends right around that bat of Hayes, who likely thought it was the cutter, but that was his curveball. And there are 2 outs now in the 7th. 2 strikeouts for Maton and a hit by pitch. And here's the first pitch to Endy Rodriguez, who pulls it for a base hit, and that's going to end the no-hit bid for the Cardinals. And the runners are on first and second now for the Pirates. So the first hit of the game for the Pirates in the 7th comes against Phil Maton, who left one up in the zone. Ended up coming down in the zone with a changeup, which is not what you're trying to do. He was low and in on Rodriguez, and he just dropped the barrel on it and turned it into a base hit. So that brings up Adam Frazier with Bart in scoring position now, with 2 outs in the 7th. First pitch, curveball caught the outside corner, 0-1. Game is 0-0 right now. Easily the least production the Cardinals offense has produced this season. The 0-1 pitch to Frazier. Swing and a miss on the curveball, 0-2. That one dropped below the zone, so Frazier caught up. He is 2 for 5 in his career against Maton with 2 strikeouts. .02 count here in the bottom of the 7th. The third pitch to Frazier. Hit hard to the right side, but it is caught at first by Burleson. and the Cardinals get out of the 7th, so still a shutout bid for both teams. Through 7, no score, 0-0, heading to the top of the 8th. There will be no record book performances today, outside of maybe another 1-0 game. It'll be Victor Scott, Thomas Sajaci, and Mason Wynn in the 8th. And Mitch Keller has every reason to come back out. He's thrown 84 pitches in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the bullpen either because he was starting to lose a little bit of that command last inning. We'll have to see. Let's see if there are any other nicknames. We'll check Ivan Herrera. I think Gorman might have a nickname on here. No nicknames for Ivan. Does Gorman have no-go on here or something like that? Nope. No one Brian Gorman. If we compare what the Cardinals have done in this game to what they've been doing, it's going to be a pretty stark difference. Let's go ahead and click over. Where's the... Wow, Contreras has been a problem. Let's see the schedule and the results. Where's that? So far this year, Cardinals are 5-6. But they scored 5, 5, 9, 4, 7, 12, 9, 4, 7, 4, and 5. So right now, this is going to be their lowest scoring per game by a long shot if they don't pick up a lot of runs in these last 2 innings. Also, the hit count. They had 10 hits in each of their first 9 games, and then just 9 hits a couple days ago. And probably less than that against Skeens, but they still got 5 runs up on the board. So it's been a little different. It is Mitch Keller still in the game. And Victor Scott stepping up to the plate. So the first pitch is in there for a strike on Victor Scott. And the second pitch is low and in. Bounced it. 1-1. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1 on Scott. So Mitch Keller left out there by the Pirates. A little bit of a different decision than what Marmol is doing with the Cardinals. Let's see how it works out for him. Pitch 88 is grounded foul, 2-2. Tomorrow, the Cardinals host the Phillies. It will be Nola. Well, I hope that's tomorrow. I'll double check, but here's the 2-2 pitch to Scott. Swing and a miss on the curved ball. Fell out of the zone for strikeout number 6 for Keller on the game. Great game for him so far. Here comes Thomas Sajaci, who's 0 for 2 today. And 4 for 10 on the season. So it will be Friday that the Cardinals host the Phillies. Fastball caught the outside corner. Actually missed, but the ump called it. 0-1 on Sajaci. The 0-1 pitch is in there with a sweeper. 0-2. JC digs back in. And the pitch. Hit the other way, right over the second baseman for a base hit. So there's another hit for Thomas Sajaci, and that'll bring up Mason Wynn with a runner on. You wonder if Sajaci is a fast runner. If he is, you might want to send him here. Big chance for the Cardinals to drive in a run. with Win and Newtbar coming up at the 9 and 1 spots in the order, with one on and one out for Win. So JC on first. Pitch number 93 from Keller is to Mason Win, and it's low and away. Ball one. That was a sweeper. Not the best commanded pitch Keller's had today. The 1-0 pitch to Win is low. 2-0. Pitch is low and away again. The sweeper continues to miss. And the count is 3-0 on Win. It would be Lars Newtbar on deck if Win is able to reach. The Pirates have two members of their bullpen warming up now. The 3-0 pitch to Win is low. He missed low with the four seam that time, so not even an off-speed pitch. And that's an easy walk and probably an easy decision to take him out of the game at this point, as the Pirates manager does walk out to the mound. So runners are on first and second. Lars Newtbar is coming up, and Keller's day is over. 96 pitches, an excellent performance by Mitch Keller, but he leaves two base runners on, and he will be responsible for those as the reliever comes in. 2 on for Newtbar and Contreras in the 8th. So if you're a Cardinals fan, Newtbar is one of those guys you definitely want to have up at this spot. Hopefully we can figure out who it is that's coming in for the Pirates soon. But I don't expect that to be updated too soon, so let's just take a look at who they have. So they have their bullpen listed as Ferguson, Lawrence, Baruki, Meza, Wentz, Shugart, and Harrington. We've already seen Shugart. This is a close game, big situation. You'd expect one of these guys to be their decision. So something like Ferguson or Lawrence. And because it's lefty, maybe Caleb Ferguson is who I would expect to see. So if we take a look at what he did last year. Was he on their team? Doesn't look like it. So we will go check it out over here. Caleb Ferguson. He's been very good this year. 6 games, 0 ERA in 6 innings. 2 strikeouts with a 1.167 whip. He's been on the Dodgers for most of his career. He was on the Yankees and the Astros last season before joining the Pirates this year. So a lot of good teams, a lot of good performances, and great seasons for Ferguson. And he's doing well with the Pirates so far, although the FIP is not ideal. Means he's probably had a couple walks. And it is Ferguson, so I was able to predict that correctly. They're going lefty-lefty. A very good left-handed pitcher in Ferguson. And here comes Lars Newtbar. A good lefty-lefty hitter with a chance to give the Cardinals the lead. First pitch from Ferguson. Fastball low and in. Looks like a strike. They call it a ball because it crossed up the catcher. 1-0. So Newtbar takes that pitch and has the call on his side, and it's 1-0 on Newtbar. The pitch hit high and deep to right field. but the center fielder ranges over and makes the catch. And Sajasi does not tag, so there's now 2 outs and 2 on for Wilson Contreras. It was a hard hit ball, but the outfield was playing deep, and the wind carried it over to center field. So that might be part of the reason that left blowing wind is probably part of the reason why the pitching staff has been doing so well today. A lot of hard hit balls getting blown out of the gaps and to the outfielders. The pitch to Contreras is low, 1-0. What an opportunity for Contreras to finally bounce back this season. He's 4 for 46 on the year so far. That's an .087 average. 1 hit could do numbers for him. The 1-0 to Contreras. Fouled away the opposite way. 1-1. Has the platoon advantage now, as he is 0 for 3 on the game. Nootbaar went 0 for 4, but none of those were strikeouts. Contreras has 1 strikeout today. The 1-1 pitch to Contreras. Pumped a fastball right down the middle and popped it foul. 1-2. The Pirates are 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position this series. Cardinals 4 for 17, and that explains why Cardinals were only able to win 1 of these games. 2 on here, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch from Ferguson to Contreras. Did not go on a low pitch, 2-2. The 2-2 from Ferguson to Contreras. With 2 on in the 8th. The pitch popped up. It's an easy play for the infield. And there's a collision and the ball's on the ground. And they tag out Sajasi at the plate. So he tried to score after a big collision. And the Pirates are out of the inning. We will have to take a look at Rodriguez. It's Endy Rodriguez laying on the ground. He might have to come out of this game, but the Pirates do get out of it as Sajasi tried to sneak around the play, and a heads-up play was made by Ke'Bryan Hayes to prevent the run, and we go to the bottom of the 8th of a scoreless game. What a crazy play. So Phil Maton threw 14 pitches last inning. The Cardinals probably don't go back-to-back innings with him, although he's been good. So they could. It's going to be Pham, Chang, and Sawinski. So maybe they leave Maton in to face Pham and then go to a lefty after that. Let's take a look at the bullpen for the Cardinals. It is a 0-0 game, so this is one of those where you pitch your best guy. Romero was warming up last inning, so I would not be surprised to see him. I would probably save him for after one more batter's faced by Maton. So I'd go Maton, get Romero in to get the 2 outs against the lefties, and then you go to Helsley in the 9th. But we will have to see. So let's see, did Rodriguez stay in the game? He did. So everybody's okay. So JC tried to be clever But Hayes kept his eyes on the play. It would not have been a catch, and it was a fair ball. So a heads-up play by Hayes keeps the score tied. The Cardinals go to a righty in Kyle Leahy, who has a 1.35 ERA on the season. And it's 0-1 on Pham. Popped up. Out of play, 0-2. So that's an interesting strategy. The Cardinals will have to face Chang and Sawinski with the right-handed pitcher. But Leahy's been very, very good this year. So Romero likely won't see the field today. The 0-2. Low and away, 1-2. Although if the game is tied in the ninth, the Cardinals might not go to Helsley yet. But they do have a day off tomorrow, so Helsley could go up to 2 innings. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Pham. Upstairs, 2-2. Leahy has a 0.45 whip, 10.8 strikeouts per 9. No home runs allowed, 69% ground ball percentage this season. Pretty good. Very, very good, actually. The 2-2 fouled back. Still 2-2. But obviously the sample size is small this early in the year. Two pitch to Pham is inside with a curveball. Count runs full. So Tommy Pham has worked a full count with some foul balls. Has a walk in the third. The 3-2 to him. Fouled back again. Still 3-2. Pham is 2 for 5 this season with a full count. 40% of those plate appearances are walks. 30% strikeouts. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Slider up and slider at the top of the zone. Great job by Leahy. So it'll be Sung-Chae Chang still looking for his first career hit. He did reach on an error earlier, and I will be back in just a minute. After I adjust this a little bit. Is that correct? Yeah, there we go. All right. Brendan Donovan at the plate. Sorry about that delay. Donovan 1 for 3, was robbed of extra bases last time up. Here's the 0-2 pitch. With that play by McCutcheon. One and two now. Ferguson missed low and away. You wonder if the Pirates are going to switch pitchers as Arenado is on deck. Probably will. The 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Ground ball foul. Still 1 and 2. Lefty-lefty matchup from Caleb Ferguson to Brendan Donovan in the ninth. Timeout by the catcher. He's going to go visit with Ferguson, as it is 1 and 2 now. Donovan hitting .391 on the year. 1 for 3 today with a 1.018 OPS and 2 home runs. It is 0-0 in the ninth. It'll be Donovan, Arenado, and Burleson in this ninth inning. Big chance for the Cardinals to take the lead and close this one out with a win. The 1-2 pitch for Donovan with nobody on, nobody out. Hit hard foul on the left field side. Still 1 and 2. The 1-2 pitch to Donovan. He's in there for strike 3, a sinker right down the middle. Donovan unable to pull the trigger. And there's one out in the ninth. That will bring up Arenado, who is 0 for 3 today, hitting .317 on the season with an .880 OPS. And they will go to the bullpen for the righty-righty. Good job by Caleb Ferguson. Still a very good pitcher. And they will go to a righty to face Arenado. Let's see who that is. Quick look at the bullpen of the Pirates. I mean, could it be Dennis Santana? Probably. Santana is pitching pretty well so far this season. A 1.32 ERA plus, a 3.38 ERA. Where are the saves? You should have saves. Guess they're not shown on this. Oh, here it is. Just one save on the year so far. He's listed as the closer. Maybe he isn't the full-time closer. But he has been pretty good. It'll be Arenado and Burleson. Certainly getting at-bats for the Cardinals today. And it would be Pajes if one of them is able to reach. You're in the top of the ninth. So if you wonder why Cardinals haven't put up runs, obviously Nootbaar and Arenado have no hits today. That's a big deal. Contreras was able to get a hit today. Which I guess was that pop-up that ended up being a tag out by Sajasi. Can't believe they give him credit for a hit on that, but okay. One out, no count. First pitch to Arenado from Santana. Hit hard to center field, but right at Sawinski. And there's 2 outs now in the ninth. So Santana had 1 pitch, 1 out. And here comes Burleson. With the wind blowing the way that it is, you almost would rather just scrape by with an extra base hit, a hard hit liner, instead of trying to hit the ball in the air, and then try to get Pajes to drive you in on a single. Here is the pitch to Burleson. High fly ball to left field. Should be easy to play for Pham, and he does. So he makes the play, and we're midway through the ninth, tied at 0. Pirates have just one hit, but they get a chance to walk off the game in the ninth. 0-0. It'll be McCutchen, Bart, and Hayes. You wonder if Helsley will come in or if the Cardinals will stick with Leahy. He threw 23 pitches last inning, so probably not him. But you can't go forever, so maybe JoJo. I would go JoJo Romero now. And Helsley with the base runners because he's a strikeout guy. Like Helsley in the 10th. Because the Cardinals already have to strategize for extra innings, while the Pirates just have to strategize for now. I would go JoJo because he's more of a contact pitcher. Although it is all righties, so if you have another righty available that's good, like John King's a lefty, I think. But let's actually just take a look. Who is available? Fernandez is where I would go right now. Definitely. You go Fernandez here, and then Helsley. In the 10th, and then if that doesn't work out, you have Romero. And then if it goes deep into extras, obviously John King or Matz, if you get some lefties. They're going Fernandez. So, okay. We're in agreement on that. Fernandez has not been great this year. He has a 13.50 ERA, but he was very good last year, and you can expect him to be a good pitcher on any given night. Just a bad start to the year this year. So Fernandez versus McCutchen, Bart, and Hayes, the middle of the Pirates order. The Pirates really don't have a whole lot of lefties, so I would stay away from Romero. If you can, you go Fernandez here, Helsley in the 10th, and hopefully that'll do it for you. Here's the pitch. McCutchen takes strike one. Slider up and away. McCutchen is 0 for 3 today. The 0-1 pitch to McCutchen. Ground ball foul, 0-2. He did make an excellent catch in right field to probably save the game for the Pirates. And he's hitting .296 on the season. The 0-2 pitch to McCutchen. Swing and a miss. Chopped at a slider. Really strange swing from McCutchen. Didn't see that correctly out of the hand. Tried to stop himself, but he knew he swung. And he went down. So 1 out for Joey Bart. Here in the 9th, Fernandez delivers. And it's a strike at the top of the zone with a fastball to Bart. Bart was hit by a pitch in the 7th. He's 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 pitch to him. Missed up and away, 1-1. He did homer in the first inning of the first game of this series. Has 4 RBIs. The 1-1. Went around on the slider just like McCutchen, 1-2. Bart is 9 for 36 on the season for a .250 average, 774 OPS. One-two count. He steps back in. Fernandez delivers. Swing and a miss on another slider, and he has 2 strikeouts to start the 9th. And here comes Ke'Bryan Hayes. One more out, and we go to extras. Just 7 pitches from Fernandez for 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch to Hayes. In there with a slider for a strike. Hayes is 0 for 2 today. Does have a walk and a strikeout today. Fernandez missed with the second pitch, 1-1. It was a slider low and away, bounced in the dirt. The 1-1 pitch to Hayes is hit the other way for a base hit. That drops shy of Nootbaar in right. And Hayes has his first hit of the day. That'll bring up Endy Rodriguez. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is in as a shortstop, as Chang was pinch hit for in the top of the 9th by Valdez. So you'll see that in the top of the 10th. The pitch from Fernandez is outside, and Endy Rodriguez has a 1-0 count advantage here. He is 1 for 3 today. 212 on the season with a 600 OPS. The pitch is popped up. Out to second base, and the catch is made by Sajasi. And we go to extra innings in Pittsburgh. It is still 0-0. Rodriguez was the guy who was able to break up the no-hit bid. But he will probably finish this game 1 for 4. And he'll start as the automatic runner for the Pirates in the bottom of the 10th. And it'll be Pedro Pajes, Victor Scott, and Thomas Sajasi for the Cardinals next inning, with Burleson as the automatic runner on second. Probably not worth pinch running for Burleson, as a bunt and a sac fly would get it done, or a hit to the right side of the infield. And any sort of hit, really anything like that. Burleson's not super slow. Santana only threw 2 pitches to get the 2 outs last inning, so he might come back out for the Pirates. That's what I would expect. Pajes is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in this one. Still hitting .269 on the season, and he's a clutch player, so I would probably let all 3 of these hitters hit. Burleson is 1 for 4 with a double, and he will be the automatic runner. The Cardinals disagree with me. They do pinch run for Burleson with Michael Ciani on second base. So he starts the inning on second. First pitch to Pajes is low, 1-0. So with Ciani on second, any type of hit from Pajes would probably score the run. And you can play him in center field. So that'll move Scott over. Well, they might not even keep him in. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. Given where we are in the lineup, Scott is on deck. He plays center field. And then you have Nootbaar and Donovan. So they probably will just... Oh, but they need a first baseman. I'll go over this in a minute. The 1-1 pitch to Pajes. Hit hard and high to left field and drops down for a hit. Ciani comes around in third, and he's gunned down easily at the plate for an out. So the Cardinals just hurt their chances of winning by pinch running and sending Ciani when he definitely should not have been sent on an absolute rocket by Pajes. absolutely irresponsible by the third base coach if he sent Ciani, and even worse if Ciani went on his own. Let's see. There was no chance that run was going to score. Pham gunned him down easily by about 10 feet. And there's one out with a runner on first now in the 10th, and Scott is hitting for the Cardinals' life with Pages on first. Ground ball to second base. They've turned 2, and Scott is at least safe at first. One on and 2 outs now in the 10th. Cardinals absolutely misplaying the top of the 10th, trying to send Ciani around. No idea what they were thinking. And now the Pirates are in prime position with 2 outs and the runner on first being Pages. So the Cardinals are resorting to putting in Luken Baker as a pinch hitter for Sajacy. So they're gunning for a homer here on this lefty-righty matchup. Nope, righty-righty. So that's even worse. What in the world? Okay. First pitch to Luken Baker. He has a hanging slider that he takes for strike 1. He has a 955 OPS on the season, a 364 average. No home runs. Facing Dennis Santana, the righty. Closer for the Pirates. The 0-1 pitch. Slider well below the zone, and Baker chases it, and it is 0-2. One more strike, and the Cardinals will have to defend a 0-0 game with an automatic runner on second. Here's the pitch from Santana. Fly ball, deep right field, but easy play for the center fielder Sawinski, and he makes it. So the Cardinals strand the runner and make a big mistake by sending Ciani to the plate. And now it'll probably be Helsley with the game on the line in the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Frazier, Pham, and IKF for the Pirates. I just don't understand. With nobody out, sending Ciani to the plate. And now we have to look at what the Cardinals are going to do on the defensive side. You had Baker come in, so he's going to play first base instead of Burleson. But Ciani's also in the game, so who's going to come in and play second? Jordan Walker got the day off, so you could bring Donovan in to play second and send Ciani into the outfield. That's probably what they're going to do, because Donovan's in left field right now. So that's why I said JC is done. It's going to be Donovan at second base, Ciani in center, Baker at first, and Scott in left, with Nootbaar in right field for the rest of this game. And it will be JoJo Romero, because the Cardinals know that they have to get 3 outs here and then get 3 outs in the next inning. So you figure you go lefty-lefty against Frazier and hope he can get Pham and IKF, and then hopefully Helsley can get the top of the order next inning. Andy Rodriguez is the automatic runner on second. JoJo Romero on the mound in the bottom of the 10th of a 0-0 game. First pitch to Adam Frazier. Missed low with a slider, 1-0. So the Cardinals have thrown away 2 chances to score, and they are stuck at 0 in the bottom of the 10th as Frazier goes around on a slider, 1-1. Hopefully Romero can hold the team up here and give the Cardinals another chance in the 11th. Runner on second, nobody out. The 1-1 pitch to Frazier. Ground ball, right side. It will move the runner over, but Donovan makes the play to Baker. And there's one out and a runner on third. It's going to be the winning run on third, so the Cardinals are going to have to bring the infield in. As Tommy Pham will step up to the plate. Lefty-righty here. You almost have to go for a pop-up or a strikeout in this situation. They are going to walk Pham. They're going to put him on first base. And choose to face Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, which I do not love because it's still lefty-righty. Kiner-Falefa has a .316 batting average this season. So a lot of singles, so you can't really afford to bring the infield in, but you do have to bring the corners in. So a double play ball is unlikely against a, that's the other factor here is he's not a super slow guy. So the double play ball could be a big problem. Even that, he could just beat it out and the game would be over. So let's see where Romero goes. I would have to think you still try to strike him out. First pitch, in there for a strike on a slider, up and away, a beautiful pitch. Sneaks that first strike by IKF. From here, I would have to target the up and in part of the zone. Try to jam him. Create a pop-up on the infield. The 0-1 stays outside, 1-1. The problem I have with staying outside like this is if IKF just pokes, he waits on it and just pokes it the other way, it's going to get over the infield that is brought in. But we'll have to see. Here's the 1-1 pitch to IKF. He squares around, and Pajes has a nice block, and it's 2-1 now on IKF. So he squared around, the ball went in the dirt, he pulled back his bunt, and the count moves to 2-1. Andy Rodriguez on third, he would be the winning run with one out. Here's the 2-1 pitch to IKF. Fly ball foul, and it is 2-2. So Romero just needs one more strike here. You could probably go to the top of the zone, because that's not an easy pitch to get around on, or try to get him to chase. The 2-2. They do go upstairs, but he fouls it back. Still 2-2. All right, 2-2 from Romero. He does have a good slider. I would say maybe try to bring the slider around inside now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. They do go slider low and in. I like the idea, but IKF is able to lay off, and it is 3-2 now on IKF with Sawinski on deck. Strikeout here would be huge. Here's the 3-2 pitch to IKF. Nope, Romero shakes it off. Okay, here's the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul on a sinker up and away. Very, very good pitch by Romero once again. But IKF just doing everything possible to stay alive. The 3-2 pitch from Romero to IKF. Popped up. That'll stay on the infield. Donovan makes the call and makes the catch. They will not send the runner to the plate, but he will make the throw just in case. And there's 2 outs now with runners at the corners for the Pirates. So all the Cardinals have to do is get Sawinski. Romero also has the opportunity to come out of the game as the Pirates pinch hit their righty, Canario, now. So it'll be interesting to see what the outfield looks like after this, if they do not get the lead. You wonder if the Cardinals will call time and bring in a new pitcher for Romero. They're going to go talk to Romero now, with Canario coming up to the plate. From a pitching standpoint, you have Canario, Reynolds, and McCutcheon. So you could bring in a righty, and that would be an effective decision. You could go Helsley right now, but I don't know how well Helsley does when he's not coming out of the bullpen. I don't think it's super well, so that explains why the Cardinals are sticking with Romero now. Romero versus Canario. He is hitting .077 on the season. First pitch is low with a changeup, 1-0. The Pirates send the runner to second base on defensive indifference, just to avoid a force out at second. They're playing Canario to pull. Here's the 1-0. High and deep to left field, but an easy play in left, and Victor Scott makes the catch. And we go to the 11th in Pittsburgh, still 0-0, despite the automatic runners. Great job by Jojo Romero, stranding that runner at third. And it'll be Mason Wynn, Lars Nootbaar, and Wilson Contreras in the 11th. So the automatic runner would be Lucan Baker, and I think they're going to have to stick with that, unless they have another first base option. Nobody in the lineup right now plays first base, except maybe Wilson Contreras. I don't know what the rules are with DH and first base. Like, can you switch the DH with a position player? So it'll probably be Baker on second, because the Cardinals do still have to play defense. But if you are allowed to switch the DH with a position player, which I don't think you are, at least you used to not be allowed to, then maybe they would switch switch Contreras with whoever this pinch runner would be. But I would not pinch run. You already saw how that worked out. You know, a runner on third with nobody out is almost, it's a very, very likely to score situation. So a hard hit ball to left field like that, I don't know why you would test Tommy Pham's arm. But they did, and that's why we're in the 11th. And Baker is going to start on second base now for Mason Wynn. So by pinch running for Burleson, you end up having to start with Baker in the 11th, which is ironic, as Baker's probably slower than Burleson. But this kind of represents a correcting of the decision-making by the Cardinals, and here is the top of the 11th. You have Mason Wynn, followed by the top of the order, facing Dennis Santana for his third inning. First pitch, upstairs for a strike. Four-seamer caught the upper inside corner. Mason Wynn took that one. It was a very good pitch. Tough to do anything with that. Maybe try to go the other way. Here is the 0-1 to Santana. From Santana. Bunted, foul by Wynn. And now it's 0-2. The Cardinals are 0-3 in extra innings this year. Pirates are 1-1. Hopefully the Cardinals can change that here. The 0-2 pitch from Santana is low for ball 1-2. Mason Wynn awaits the 1-2 pitch from Santana. Here it is. Chops right over it for strike 3. And down goes Wynn without advancing the runner, so Nootbaar or Contreras will have to look for a hit. The responsibility of moving that runner to third base is a big one, and Wynn was unable to do it. So the Pirates finally go to their bullpen. Santana only threw 13 pitches, got every out asked of him, in a great outing for him. And we'll see who they go to face Nootbaar. I bet they're going to another lefty. as the wind is not helping lefties pull the ball right now, so tough to go the other way in that spot. Might be what we have to ask Nootbaar to do here. So let's take a look at the Pirates bullpen. Santana's already pitched, Ferguson's already pitched, so you look at Wentz, Meza, or Baruki in this one. In this situation, I mean, Baruki is at the top of their list, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him if we haven't already. But Meza and Wentz, I know Wentz is a solid pitcher. He was with the Tigers recently, so we'll see what they do. Around the league, the Cubs trail the Rangers 1-0, and the Yankees lead the Tigers 2-0 in the 8th inning. So another defensive game in Detroit today. And they will go to Baruki. So that's who we would expect here. He'll be facing Nootbaar with 1 out and a runner on second in the 11th. So here comes Nootbaar. He is 0 for 4 today, but he has a big opportunity to give the Cardinals the lead here. 1 out, runner on second. The first pitch, way outside, the ball gets away, but Baker unable to advance. 1-0. Baruki has a 7.20 ERA on the season with a 1.6 whip, but he does have a 12.6 strikeouts per 9. The 1-0 pitch to Nootbaar. Ground ball to the right side. He will move the runner over, but he goes down, and there's 2 outs, so that doesn't matter very much. And here comes Contreras to face the lefty in Pittsburgh. Contreras really hoping to have a big day today. He is 1 for 4, but that hit was that dropped fly ball, so does that really count as a hit? I don't know. I wouldn't count it, but maybe they'll retroactively make it an error. There's no way you can call it a hit. It's Contreras up right now. It is a lefty-righty, but Donovan is on deck, so last season, you know they'd be walking Contreras right now, but there's no way they're going to walk Contreras this season. Absolutely no chance. He's listed at 1 for 4 on the day, but his hit was a pop-up on the infield, so it's not really a hit. Contreras has gone a long time without a real good piece of hitting. He is 1 for 4 as listed today with 1 strikeout. First pitch from Baruki to Contreras is a changeup low and away for ball 1. This would be a massive chance for Contreras to finally deliver for the Cardinals this season. With a runner on third and 2 outs, you really need to see something from him. And here's his chance. The 1-0. In there for a strike, a slider right on the outside corner. You don't expect him to do anything with that pitch. It was an excellent pitch. 1-1. Baker leads off third. The pitch from Baruki to Contreras. Another slider outside. That one did not find the zone. 2-1. I have a feeling Contreras sees those sweepers and sliders a lot easier on a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the 2-1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss on the changeup. So a very effective changeup on the outside part of the plate from Baruki. And the Cardinals are down to their last strike in the 11th. Chance for Contreras to deliver. The 2-2 pitch to Wilson. Hit into the air to left. Pham drifts back and makes the catch. So Contreras falls to 1 for 5 on the game with just the pop-up that is listed as a single. And we go to the bottom of the 11th. Romero just threw 13 pitches last inning, and it'll be Reynolds, who's a switch hitter, and McCutchen and Bart. So you would expect the Cardinals to stick with a new pitcher here. So we're going to the bottom of the 11th. We'll see how long this game can go. We have all day. So who do the Cardinals have in the bullpen still? Helsley could come out. Maton's already gone. Romero, Fernandez. So you could go to Roycroft. Leahy's already pitched. You can't go to a lefty right here. Wouldn't make a lot of sense. Roycroft would make sense, but statistically, I'd rather just have Helsley for 2 innings and just hope that it ends by the end of that. Give Helsley another chance. Let's see what the Cardinals do. It will be Helsley. So there you go. Helsley versus Reynolds, McCutchen, and Bart. So the Cardinals are really betting that their lineup is going to be able to score on the 12th if they can get there by going with Helsley in the 11th. Helsley's thrown 4 innings this season with a 1.75 whip. Had a really bad game in Boston a few days ago. Blew the save. He has a 4.50 ERA as a result. And it'll be Alexander Canario, the automatic runner on second. He would be the winning run if he comes around to score, and Brian Reynolds is stepping up to the plate. The best hitter for the Pirates, at least as far as home runs go. And Cardinals are just going to put him on, so he'll face McCutchen with runners on first and second. First pitch to McCutchen is a swing and a miss. McCutchen is 0 for 4 today with a 286 batting average. Sorry, on the season, 286 batting average. 0 for 4 on this game. He has 1 home run on the year. The 0-1 pitch from Helsley. Slider low, 1-1. McCutchen has 2 strikeouts today and has left 2 runners on base. No walks for him yet. The 1-1 pitch to McCutchen. They go to the slider again. He chases 1-2 now. So McCutchen was guessing there that they would go fastball. He guessed wrong. So it's 1-2. Still a really good slider. And now Helsley has the opportunity to go to any part of the batter's box. Sorry, the zone. The 1-2. Fouled back on another slider. Still 1-2. Probably don't want to throw it into the batter's box, but because it's a box, my brain mixed them up. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Helsley to McCutchen. Gets set and delivers. Too high, 2-2. So that was a fastball. Way upstairs. Catcher had to stand up. 2-2 now on McCutchen. Helsley gets set and fires away. Fastball right in there for strike 3, and McCutchen has his 3rd strikeout of the game. Great job by Helsley on a 6-pitch at-bat to get the first hitter in the 11th. Here comes Joey Bart. With 1 out, runners on first and second. The only one that matters is standing on second, except for a double play opportunity. Bart hitting .243 on the season. He's 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch today. Slider a little low. 1-0. almost went around on that. Mason Wynn playing his normal position. At short, here's the 1-0 pitch to Bart. Hit the other way, it's going to get past Donovan. They're going to send Canario around to the plate, and the throw is in time, and the Cardinals get the out at the plate. So an incredible throw from right field, and we stay tied at 0 after Nootbaar delivers again for the Redbirds. Runners on second and third now in the bottom of the 11th with 2 outs. So every Pirates fan thought they were going to win, but another runner sent to the plate, gunned down, this time by Nootbaar. Fantastic play by Pajes. And here comes Ke'Bryan Hayes to face Ryan Helsley. The 9th pitch from Helsley. In there for a strike, up and in, 99. 0-1 on Hayes. Hayes has a walk and a single today. He's 1 for 3. Hitting .244 on the season. The 0-1 pitch to Hayes. Pulled down the left field line, but the play is made by Arenado, and he delivers to first for the 3rd out. And we go to the 12th in Pittsburgh. A great job by the Cardinals defense. A couple hard hit balls against Helsley, but Nootbaar and Arenado send us to the 12th. And Donovan, Arenado, and Ciani will be due up for the Cardinals next inning. It'll be Wilson Contreras as the automatic runner on second. So an incredible defensive performance from both ends in this one. And that's why we're playing 12 innings. This is really good baseball, even though there's no runs scored in it so far. Maybe the Cardinals will be able to manufacture one with Donovan in the top of the 12th. The Pirates, let's see, who did they go to? Barucki has only thrown 7 pitches. He's also a lefty, so you'd expect him to face Donovan at the very least. But it depends if he's good when he's not coming out of the bullpen. If they don't go that direction, they also have Wentz and Meza as lefties out of the bullpen. My expectation is that it'll still be Barucki in the 12th. Donovan's OPS has fallen below 1,000, sitting at 997, coming into this at-bat. Contreras on second. Donovan coming to the plate. And they stick with Barucki. So the first pitch from him to Brendan Donovan, who was 1 for 4 today. Up and in, 1-0 with the sweeper. The 1-0 pitch from Barucki to Donovan. Low and away, missed with the sinker, so he might be struggling because he had to sit in the dugout for an inning. Probably thought the game was over after that single, but an incredible throw by Nootbaar, and we are here in the 12th. Donovan has 2 home runs on the season, and Barucki has a 6.35 ERA. Timeout for the pitcher. Is that a balk? He just balked Contreras over to third base. So big error by Barucki. And now Contreras is going to score on anything hit by Donovan. So Donovan has an opportunity. Here's the lefty 2-0 pitch. A little low, called a strike, 2-1. That was a low sinker. Donovan is 6 for 11 on the series. The 2-1 pitch to him. Ground ball to the right side. Out of play, foul. 2-2. He has no home runs, 2 RBIs, and 1 extra base hit in PNC this series. Donovan is 7 for 14 this season with runners in scoring position. The 2-2. Pulled to the right side. They're able to make the stab and prevent Donovan from reaching. So now the runner is on third with 1 out in the 12th. So Donovan is 1 for 5 on the day, and that'll bring up Arenado. All he needs to do to score this run is put the ball into the outfield in some fashion, and that's why they're going to walk him and bring up Michael Ciani. You wonder if a pinch hitter could be an option for the Cardinals here. Walker would likely be available, and he will come into the game. So here comes Jordan Walker with the runners at the corners and 1 out in the 12th. Barucki is a lefty with a 6 ERA, so you wonder if the Pirates go to the bullpen to face Walker. They're doing a mound visit now. And here comes the manager. I believe his name is Keller, Mitch Keller. And here we go to the bullpen. So against a righty named Jordan Walker, maybe Justin Lawrence. Shugart could pitch for the second game in a row. If Lawrence is available, he's going to be the guy. Let's see what they do. It's Jordan Walker now, Pedro Pajes on deck, and Victor Scott in the hole. And Walker will probably be playing in the outfield after this, so he'll move to right, Scott will move to center, and Nootbaar will move to left. So a very good job this game by the Cardinals of moving around to all places in the outfield. Donovan played left field and second in this game. Ciani played center field off of being a pinch runner. Scott played left field and center. And Baker went from a pinch hitter to first base. And after this, you'll see Nootbaar move from right to left. Donovan stay at second. Walker go from a pinch hitter to right field. And Scott go from center field to left field. And I guess back to center field. It will be Justin Lawrence. He has a 1.8 ERA in this season with a 1.2 whip, 12.6 strikeouts per 9. So a very good pitcher so far this year. And he will face Jordan Walker with runners at the corners and 1 out in the 12th inning. Walker hitting .263 with a .706 OPS and a home run this season. The first pitch to Walker is low and away, 1-0. This is Walker's first plate appearance of the game, as he is the pinch hitter for Ciani, who came on to pinch run for Burleson earlier today. The 1-0. Ground ball to the right side, through for a base hit, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead as they try to send Arenado to third, and he will get there. So runners at the corners and 1 out now, and a big chance to get a 2-run lead in extras for Pedro Pajes after a very huge single from Jordan Walker. Walker did not try to do too much. Waited for Lawrence's slow pitch and just drove it the other way by putting the barrel on it, putting it where the fielders were not. It was not super hard hit ball, but put it into the gap. There was nobody playing between first and second base. First pitch to Pajes misses upstairs, 1-0. So Pajes, with a 1-0 lead, has the runner on third and 1 out. So as long as there's no double play or pop-up or strikeout, he will be able to drive it in and give the Cardinals another run. He hits it the other way, foul. 1-1. So his goal here is to put the ball into the outfield, drive in one more run, and give the Cardinals that cushion they need to end this extra inning game. They're playing him to pull a little bit at least. The 1-1 pitch to Paez. Ground ball to the left side. They tag out Arenado at third, and there's 2 away now in the 12th. Arenado tried to go back because he knew he would get gunned down at the plate, and was instead tagged because the third baseman was closer to him than he realized. So Hayes made a great heads-up play by tagging out Arenado, and now there's 2 outs with 2 on in the top of the 12th with a 1-0 lead for the Cardinals. Victor Scott. Had to update the graphic. 2 outs, runners on first and second. 1-0 Cardinals. The first pitch to Scott is in there with a sweeper for strike 1. Scott is 12 for 41 with a .293 batting average this season and 1 home run. The 0-1 pitch. Instead, they check on Walker at second base. So that's the first disengagement. The 0-1 pitch to Victor Scott. Missed outside with a slider, 1-1. Scott is 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position this year. His home run also came with runners in scoring position. The 1-1. Taken, low and in. He did not go. 2-1. Lawrence is set and delivers. Outside, 3-1 now. The 3-1 pitch to Victor Scott. Swing and a miss on the sweeper, and the count runs full, so the runners will get a head start on this next pitch. And Scott settles back in. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball foul, so we'll do it again. It would be Luke and Baker waiting on deck if Scott is able to reach. He is 1 for 4 on the day. The 3-2 pitch from Lawrence. Instead, he disengages again. Checks on Walker, so that's 2 disengagements. 1 more, and Walker will get a free base. So you wonder if the runners are already going to be moving. Here is the pitch. Popped up on the infield, and IKF makes the catch at shortstop. So the Cardinals strand 2, but they are able to score the 1 run on the Walker single, and so they will have to prevent the automatic runner from scoring in order to win this one. We head to the bottom of the 12th, 1-0 St. Louis. Looks like Helsley will be back out there with a chance to get the win. He'll face Endy Rodriguez, Adam Frazier, and Tommy Pham. None of these 3 players were on the team last year. Rodriguez is a little bit below average this season, 67 OPS plus. He'll be leading it off for the Pirates, with the game on the line. Facing Ryan Helsley. Nope, the Cardinals go to Steven Matz. It's an interesting decision. So it would be Matz getting the save and Helsley getting the win. That would be very ironic, given what they were signed to do. Yankees lead the Tigers 4-0 in Detroit. The Mets are trailing Miami in New York 5-0. The Rangers lead the Cubs 5-1. Brian Hayes will be the automatic runner at second, and it's Matz versus Endy Rodriguez. Swing and a miss on a sinker upstairs, 0-1 on Rodriguez. Matz has a 2.16 ERA this season. Second pitch to Rodriguez is popped up deep to center field, and the catch is made by Scott. He'll gun the ball all the way to third, but a little late to try to get Brian Hayes. And there's one out, and the tying run on third for the Pirates. It'll be Adam Frazier. So Steven Matz with a big at-bat here. If he can get this out without giving up the run, that would be enormous for the Cardinals' chances of winning in the 12th. Frazier is 0 for 4. First pitch to him. Right in there for a strike. Frazier is 0 for 4 with 4 left on base, but no strikeouts in this one. The 0-1 pitch from Matz. Swing and a miss, and Pages tries to gun down Bryan at third, but the ball hits Arenado's glove and falls out of it. And Arenado is very disappointed in himself because he knows Pages had him. Very good back pick opportunity for the Cardinals, and they just missed it. Big smile on their faces, though. It is 0-2 to Frazier. The pitch from Matz. Upstairs. Oh, strike 3 right in the upper outside corner. It did catch the corner, according to the pitch tracks, but boy, that was close. You don't expect that to be called if you're the hitter. An absolutely perfect pitch by Matz, and there's 2 outs now with a runner on third for Tommy Pham. So the Cardinals just need to get this out to get out of it. First pitch to him. Ground ball to the left side and through for a base hit. And Brian Hayes comes around to score. Arenado's got to be disappointed. His head was down as that ball got by. And the runner they should have picked off instead scores the tying run, and we will go another inning, potentially, if Pham doesn't come around to score in the 12th. So it's 1-1 in the bottom of the 12th, and Pittsburgh has a chance now with IKF facing Steven Matz. He's thrown nothing but strikes, and there's another strike on IKF. Sinker up and away, 0-1. You hope there are no extra base hits here. The 0-1 pitch to IKF. In there for strike 2, a sinker right down the middle. And it's now 0-2 on IKF. IKF is 12 for 39 on the year, with a pop out in the 10th. The 0-2 pitch to him. Matz waits and delivers. Upstairs, did he go? He did not. 1-2. Steven Matz trying to get the Cardinals out of it. Misses low. 2-2 now. They get a new baseball. So IKF taking 2 pitches there. And the count is even, 2-2. Position players playing in their normal spots. The 2-2 pitch to IKF. Ground ball to the right-hand side. Donovan makes the play. And there you have it. The screen went blue. That was strange. We go to the 13th. It's 1-1. Both teams were able to score finally in the 12th, but they did it at the same time. So we will continue playing ball. It'll be Lucan Baker, Mason Wynn, and Lars Nootbaar for the Cardinals, part of the 13th inning. Justin Lawrence threw 12 pitches last inning. When you're in the 13th and you have a starter like Matt's pitching, you might want to keep him in. But we'll see what the Cardinals do, depending if they get the lead or not, going into the 13th. So Helsley's done. Who is left? Oh, have I had this on this whole time? My bad. That's kind of embarrassing. But all right, let's see. Who's left in the bullpen? So Helsley's done. Maton is done. Romero is done. Fernandez is done. Leahy is done. And Matz is pitching. So it's Roycroft and King. But I think Matz is just going to go until this game's over. At this point. Because you don't want to use Roycroft or King in a situation where the game could get tied back up unless you're sure you're going to end it. So if the Cardinals go up by 2 or more in one of these innings, then you could probably go to Roycroft or King. Other than that, I would stay away from them. And we're back. It will be Lawrence again for the Pirates. Facing Lucan Baker. The automatic runner on second being Victor Scott. He's very fast. It's the guy you want in this spot because he could score on a single and you wouldn't have to send him and take a risk. First pitch to Baker. Strike one with a sweeper. Oh and 1 on Baker. Second pitch. Sweeper, he fouls it off. 0 and 2 now. Baker hitting .333 this season with an .884 OPS. No home runs yet. And he is 0 for 1 today. The 0-2 pitch from Lawrence. He did not go. 1 and 2. Lawrence gets set. Scott on second and delivers. Inside, 2 and 2. That one was a sinker. If you look at what the Cardinals did from a managerial perspective this game, the only thing I disagree with was starting Burleson. Starting with pinch running Ciani for Burleson in the 10th. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball foul. Once that chain reaction had begun, I agree with everything Marmol has done, but obviously you don't send Ciani on that single. It was way too hard hit, but the other part of that is you don't pinch run for Burleson until there's 2 outs, in my opinion. But here's the 2-2 pitch with a runner on second to Baker. Outside, 3 and 2 now. Or at least 1 out with a runner on second. Because with nobody out and a runner on third, you can just score him on a sac fly or a ground ball. And so you wouldn't need a pinch runner. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Baker. Swing and a miss on a sweeper outside. And now it'll be Mason Wynn and Nootbaar with a runner on second and a tie game in the 13th. So Baker unable to move the runner over. So for example, in this spot, now, if you move the runner over to third, it won't matter because a sac fly can't score him. So your odds of scoring that run from third are way lower. So that's why you pinch run. It's to score him on a single. but a single doesn't need to score them with nobody out, usually. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Win. Strike 2 there, but they call it a ball on a sweeper. 1-1 on Mason Wynn now. Wynn is 10 for 44 this season. He has a walk in the 8th. 0 for 3 in this game. The 1-1. Same exact pitch. Doesn't get it once again, and it's 2-1. Could have been a strikeout if he's getting those calls, but Lawrence will have to find another way to put it in the zone. The 2-1 to Mason Wynn. They go to the sinker, low, and Wynn swung. It's now 2-2. Wynn has 1 home run this season, 615 OPS. 3 runs batted in. Lawrence now on pitch 24 of his outing. He's thrown 1 inning. Still looking to get 2 more outs here. Has a 1.5 ERA on the year. The 2-2 to Win. Swing and a miss on a sweeper. And now there are 2 away for Nootbaar. Nootbaar is 0 for 5 this game. Had a couple of hard hit balls, but just not placed very well. Has no strikeouts today on those 5 at-bats, so they will walk Nootbaar. So there are runners on first and second, and it will be Contreras again. Contreras is 1 for 5 with a run scored. He scored that run as the automatic runner. And he will use some more grip spray on his gloves, because I think this is a superstition. Make sure he gets a lot of grip on the bat. Obviously it helps, but you don't need it right before the at-bat necessarily on your own gloves. But he's kind of an interesting hitter. First pitch to Contreras is a strike. Sweeper on the inside part. He really doesn't see the ball well against this type of pitcher, but maybe he'll just barrel one up by swinging low and in. The 0-1. Hit hard to second base, and they get the out. So the Cardinals strand the automatic runner as Contreras falls to 1 for 6 on the game. And we go to the bottom of the 13th, still tied at 1. So the Cardinals will need to play great defense again in the 13th inning, and it's Steven Matz who will have to do it. Unless they go to another pitcher, which would be irresponsible. But we'll see what happens. I thought they would stick with Helsley last inning, but Matz did a good job. Just an unfortunate base hit. It'll be Alexander Canario, Brian Reynolds, and McCutcheon in the bottom of the 13th. That base hit last inning scored Hayes. I apologize. It was hit by Pham. And the Cardinals did decide to go to Chris Roycroft here, so not multiple innings for Matz. That's surprising to me. Roycroft versus Canario here. They only have one other pitcher that they could go to in the 14th. so I don't know who they're going to stretch out in this one. First pitch from Roycroft to Canario is outside, 1-0. So trying to win this one, the Cardinals really have to win it in the 14th, unless they want one of these pitchers to go multiple innings. Here's the 1-0 from Roycroft to Canario. Swing and a miss on the sinker, 1-1. It was a hittable pitch, but Canario swung right under it. I would probably go up and in on him given that swing path. Here is the 1-1. Low and away, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Canario is inside, 3-1 now. It would be Reynolds on deck, so you really don't want to put Canario on unless you really think you can get that double play ball. The 3-1 pitch from Roycroft to Canario. Out, it's a little bit inside, missed again with the sinker, and it's now first and second in the bottom of the 13th. So nowhere really to put Reynolds. Hopefully you can get that ground ball and get a couple of outs that way. Got to start him off with a strike because he just watched that at bat. Wouldn't be surprising if he stays patient at the plate here. Reynolds is 0 for 3 today with 2 walks. First pitch is a strike, but it's called a ball. No idea what the ump is doing here. But that was the same as last inning, the 1-0. Hit the other way for strike 1, 1-1. Went foul. So this umpire just not helping out either team. A little bit of fun with the cameraman showing the peanut salesman walking through empty sections. The 1-1 is outside. He did go around 1-2. Good sinker by Roycroft. Got Reynolds to go around. A strikeout would be very important here, if you can get it. If not, you really hope it's a ground ball. The 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Roycroft to Reynolds. Upstairs again. Count runs full, so Reynolds battled back in this count with help from that second pitch. Couple kids are messing around behind the plate now. The 3-2 pitch to Reynolds. Fouled away. Still 3-2. So a good at-bat by Reynolds, trying to stay alive in this at-bat. You really don't want to see him reach first base if you're the Cardinals. Here is the 3-2 pitch to Reynolds. Missed low with the cutter. And the bases are loaded with nobody out in the 13th. The winning run has moved to third, and now you really have to hope for a home to first double play against Andrew McCutcheon, which would be a rare feat. Cardinals are going up to talk to Roycroft. It's Dusty Blake, the pitching coach. Roycroft has thrown 12 pitches, just 4 strikes. McCutcheon hitting .276 this season with 1 home run. He is 0 for 5 in this game. And you just got to attack him here and hope that he puts one on the ground and gives your defense a chance to turn 2, or at least get the out at the plate. It would be Bart on deck if the Cardinals can get McCutcheon. Bases are loaded. Nobody out in the bottom of the 13th. Chris Roycroft on the mound. He has to face McCutcheon. First pitch. Outside 1-0. Pawhess had to dive to stop that one. And Roycroft will get a chance to try to put some pitches in the zone against McCutcheon. If he walks him, the game is over. McCutcheon looks very, very patient at the plate. Hopefully Roycroft can find the zone here. Just got to put him in there. The 1-0 pitch is low. 2-0 now. Through the sinker below the zone. This is one of those situations where Roycroft just needs to throw strikes. You got to trust in your defense. Game on the line. 2-0. Pulled hard to short. He goes to the plate, and the out is made. So the Cardinals are able to get McCutcheon, who did take a swing at that one. I don't quite understand that. And that bails out Roycroft, who may have walked McCutcheon if he kept pitching. Right now, I would go straight to the bullpen and just put the whole game in the hands of whoever is left, which is one pitcher, John King. But I don't think that's what the Cardinals will do. It'll be Joey Bart with the bases loaded now. With 1 out in the bottom of the 13th. First pitch from Roycroft to Bart. He is outside, but called a strike. That's crazy. The ump called one in the zone earlier, a ball in that spot, and now that it's further out, he calls it a strike. So, very inconsistent, but it is 0-1 on Bart now. The 0-1 pitch from Roycroft is low. 1-1. Cardinals playing the corners back. First base a little bit closer than usual. Same thing with Arenado, a little bit in. So we shall see. It is 1-1 on Bart. Here is the pitch. Fouled back, 1-2 on the cutter. So Roycroft may be settling in a little bit. If they're able to get Bart, Ke'Bryan Hayes awaits on deck. Double play would get the Cardinals through the inning. But first, let's see what he does against Bart. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs fouled back with a fastball. 1-2, still the count. Bart hitting .263 this season, 1 for 4 today, with a .785 OPS and 1 home run. So a very, very solid hitter. He's hitting in the 4 spot for the Pirates. The 1-2 pitch from Roycroft is low with the 4 seam, 2-2. So you'd like to see him attack Bart here. You don't want to be in a spot where one bad pitch could cost you the game. Bart hitting .211 in his career with the bases loaded. Here's the 2-2 from Roycroft. In the zone, but fouled back again. That one was up and away. Still 2-2, another fastball. Maybe you go to the sinker this time. Try to catch the bottom of the zone. Maybe get the ground ball. Maybe get the strikeout. The 2-2. Low and away, missed with the sinker. So they tried it, but he did not command it very well. And the count is full. Bases loaded, bottom of the 13th. Joey Bart at the plate. He's 1 for 5 with a full count this season. Has not yet walked with a full count. Game on the line. The 3-2 pitch from Roycroft. He steps off. Good idea. The pitch clock was winding down. He had that disengagement to give. You might as well step off. So now a timeout by Bart. He's going to step out. He's going to make Roycroft throw a strike. So here we go. Roycroft settles back in. 3-2 count. Game on the line. 1 out. Joey Bart at the plate. The full count pitch from Roycroft. Right down the middle and hit high and deep to left field. That's going to end the game. Nootbaar cannot get there, and the ball is down for a ground rule double. And the Pirates win this one either 2-1 or 3-1, depending how that's ruled. They'll just call it 2-1 on a single. And that is the game. So the Pirates beat the Cardinals and win the series in a 13-inning thriller there. And the Cardinals fall to 5-7 on the season. Roycroft couldn't find the zone. Cardinals could not pull off the pickoff at third base, and they've stranded runners all game. A lot of questionable decisions by Marmol in this one. But that's what happens in extra innings. You try your best. Sometimes it doesn't work out. So the Pirates win 2-1, and I will see you guys soon.